Today's staffing is going to be for a Jane Walters. She's a 58-year-old Caucasian, divorced, unemployed female. The client is approximately 5'3", weighs approximately 160 pounds, with gray hair and a medium build. She came to the agency after her nephew introduced her to the opportunity. She's been an alcoholic and an abuser of illegal substances, such as meth, crack, and marijuana for over 30 years. When she came to the agency, she was living behind a gas station. She was homeless. She suffers with severe anxiety and depression, and she has several health issues. Client reported her alcoholism and drug use, and that it has ruined her relationship with her family and friends. Her nephew stated coming to the agency for help was the last time that he would ever get involved, and if she didn't stay clean, he was, quote, gone. Prior to coming into the program, the client voluntarily weaned herself off of alcohol. It took her about 1 week. She seems highly motivated to change her circumstances, and she stated, quote, "This is her last chance. This is my last chance," she said. Client seems excited about the possibilities for her future as a sober individual, and she's already making plans for living life sober. While engaging in agency services, the client maintains significant support from staff and employees. Additionally, the client has found support through her interactions with people at her church, within her healthcare facility, and the counseling agency that she visits. The client has also recently reconciled with several family members as well, and they support her by calling and encouraging her to continue in her new positive life path. She's found purpose in her volunteer work in the agency thrift shop. She also enjoys working for pay as a freelance landscaper for several people that she met through church. Working doing landscaping allows her to earn enough money monthly to pay for her phone, which has really become a lifeline for communicating with supportive family members and friends. The client grew up in poverty as one of several children. She describes her childhood as chaotic, and she said her parents never taught her about values and morals, and she and her siblings were left to their own actions and consequences. This lack of value system could have contributed to the client's deviant behavior during her young adulthood, landing her in jail several times as a youth and at least twice more in her adulthood. When the client first came to the agency, one of her greatest strengths was that of resiliency. She had overcome many lifelong struggles and has survived. She was physically and emotionally ill due to her being in survival mode for such a long period of time. However, she was alive. Due to her lifestyle that included criminal behavior and substance use, the client had no significant support system. The social worker viewed the client's situation as redeemable if the client was willing to make major changes in the way she had been living her life. The client scored very low on the self-esteem assessment and very high on the anxiety and depression assessments upon enrollment with the agency. She had no real problem-solving skills, but she stated on numerous occasions that she was motivated to make positive changes in her life. Her motivation has made it possible for her to learn coping and problem-solving skills that she'll be able to carry with her at termination. With the assistance of the social worker, the client was able to clearly define several major goals within the first month of enrolling in the agency. A service plan was put into place for the client and the social worker to review. A document called Next Steps is provided to the client after every case management session in order to keep the client on track towards meeting her goals. One of the client's goals is to increase her self-esteem by participating in exercise, also through eating healthier and sleeping better. Another goal of the client's was to maintain her sobriety and complete the 12-step study with a sponsor. Initially, the client was reluctant to set goals related to emotional topics, so the social worker suggested working on self-esteem by increasing the client's level of self-care. The client's general progress is measured at her weekly case management session by reviewing the goals and checking to see if the client has met those goals. The client is given a next step form at each case management session so she knows what to continue working on each week. Progress on topics such as self-esteem is measured using assessments taken by the client at enrollment, and again every 3 months approximately. These assessments are self-administered by the client, and the results are shared with the client immediately following the scoring. In the 6 months that this client has participated with the agency, she's shown significantly increased self-esteem and decreased anxiety and depressive symptoms, and scored accordingly on her assessments.